The Grand Traverse County Jail was built in the 1960s for a different time, a different population, and a very different idea of what a jail was supposed to do. This week, a team from the National Institute of Corrections wrapped up 2 days of on-site interviews, surveys, and data collection, and their preliminary verdict was really not subtle. The jail has reached what they call its terminal end. That's not a county commissioner saying it. That's not a local advocate saying it. That's a federal corrections expert who has seen jails across the county and the country saying Grand Traverse County has run out of runway. Today, we're going to walk through what they found, what the board did about it, and why what happened quietly in the meeting room may be the most consequential thing this commission has done in years. I'm Jim Horn, and this is Traverse Talks. And first up on this episode from the NIC is Ms. Kate Bryan.
Spent the last 2 days kind of immersing ourselves in your community, your jail. It's much more than just a jail assessment. When there's issues with a jail, the National Institute of Corrections likes to look at it holistically to see how all the criminal justice partners are working to impact the jail. So we come and take a look at the jail itself, and then we conduct a bunch of interviews, primarily trying to look at how the systems are working and feeding and impacting the jail. My preliminary impressions of the jail are that it has been extraordinarily well-maintained, well-worked and reworked for the conditions that it's in, but that you've essentially reached the terminal end of what you're able to do to keep being able to take on the burden of what's coming into your jail and how it's working. Jails, legacy jails such as yours that were built back in the 60s and 70s were built for a different time, a different population, different lengths of stays of inmates, confinement only, little bit of treatment, not much programming. And so your jail is showing that. It is insufficient across the board to meet the needs of the community right now. So those are my overall impressions. Again, as the sheriff said, this will be much more detailed in the report.
So there's a report coming. I believe they suggested it may come in a couple of weeks. And once that report gets here, it'll just add more facts and data to show that the Grand Traverse County Jail is in bad shape. I like her terminology. It's at its terminal end. Wow, that's a little scary. But you know what? I think it's an appropriate terminology because that jail needs to be replaced. Anyway, up is Chris Munson. He is also from the NIC, and he's a population analyst. And I'm going to let you listen to what he has taken a look at as far as the population or the existing population. And once again, that'll be in the report in 2 or 3 weeks or whenever they get it over to the sheriff. Here we go.
You don't want to build for something just for today. You want to make sure you can absorb population into the future, oftentimes 20 years. And so we have data on people booked into the jail, how long they're staying in the jail, and your daily populations. We've also have some data on who you're boarding out and those costs, and to be able to incorporate that into some suggestions, especially data-wise, to tee up a needs assessment in the future if that is the way the board.
Okay. Up is Sheriff Shea. He wants to give a shout out to the staff. Great idea because the jail staff does a great job. Here you go.
They commented on our corrections staff and how amazing they are in doing what they are doing with what they have to deal with, not only from a facility standpoint, but just from the operational standpoint.
And here is Commissioner Andrews making a motion.
So I'd make a motion that we direct administration to go out for a request for qualifications for a jail planner and bring it back to the jail steering committee and then this board ultimately for consideration and next steps.
So there you have it. the motion to get a jail planner to start working on the new jail. As I believe I said a little bit earlier, I think the project is supposed to cost about $50 million. Not cheap, but certainly needed here in Grand Traverse County. The other jail, or the older jail now, is about 60-some years old, so obviously it needs to be replaced. Anyway, we're going to stay on top of this. As soon as the report is available, you're going to be able to hear it on Traverse Talks, the only podcast here in Traverse City. I'm Jim Horn. Have a great rest of the week and take care.